Hi, fashionista. This is Lily Queen. I hope you're sewing away still. Okay, today I have a tip. Hopefully, it's quick. I'm doing a pleats. Okay, a lot of times when you're doing pleats, you're wondering how big or how wide a fabric do you need to work your pleats. Say you're making a waistline pleats where you know the waistline measurements. Let's say you want a waistline of a pleated skirt with waistline 30. In other words, front is 15 and the back is 15. So 30 total. Okay. How much fabric should you cut or use to get that? And a lot of times we use guesswork, or we cut the big fabric and just pleat our way through. There are different kinds of pleats. There's the knife pleat, which is like this. This is the brown paper, just using to show you this knife pleat. And then there is inverted pleats. Hopefully you can see this. Oops. Okay, this is inverted pleat and this is a box pleat. These two are like the opposite of each other, okay? Inverted and box. All right. But we'll be doing knife pleats today, so I just want to show you how to put a knife pleat together. First of all, you need to know the type of pleat you want to make, the kind of pleat. Like I said, we're doing knife pleat. And how far apart do you need the pleats to be, okay? Now, with this example of a knife pleat, we don't have spaces in them. It's just 1 inch, one up on top of each other all the way. We're not kind of having a pleat here and a pleat there, okay? So they're not far apart in any way. We just have 1 inch sitting on top of each other throughout. Now, with that being said, this is how you create a pleat, all right? Hopefully you can see. Okay, so this is the length of the fabric, for example, and I've divided this into 1 inch parts. Any three of these will form a pleat. Any three. So you grab, of course, you need to have your seam allowance on the side. So you grab one, and then you skip the next and go to the next, the alternate one. And then you pin it down. If you have an iron, you iron it down. So you go on to the next 1, 2, 3. You grab this, you go over or you skip the middle one and you sit it on the next available one. Okay, so you keep doing that and ironing and making sure, you see 1, 2, 3, you grab, skip, sorry, 1, 2, 3, the next one. You grab, push this under and put this over. Like that. And you pin. Okay, so you keep doing that until you do the whole thing and you wind up with this kind of pleat. Okay, now to know how much fabric you need in all, you multiply the waist that you need by 3. That's a factor that I found out. 3. In other words, if this is one side of the garment and I want a waist of 15, this particular one is a waist of 14. I made sure I cut out this to be 42 plus seam allowance anyway. I didn't add the seam allowance, but you will have to add seam allowance, maybe 1 inch seam allowance or less. And when you finish your pleating, you will get the exact amount of waistline you need. This is for one side of the body. You do it for the next or the other side, which is front and back. Okay, so let me just show you. These are similar ones I have done. Okay, This is a bigger width of pleats, but it works all the same. I started out with 45-inch fabric, wound up with 14, or maybe close, actually 15, okay, 15, because multiply 15 by 3, you get 45. So here we go, same thing. This is even bigger. This is 2-inch pleats. This is 1.5-inch pleats, and this is 1-inch pleats. All of them give me the same width of waistline, but I make sure I multiply my waistline by 3 to get the full fabric that I start out with. So while this is 15 width, to start off, I make sure I get my 45-inch plus seam allowance. So a good 47 will do, okay, in terms of length of the fabric you use. Thank you very much, and keep on sewing.